guys, coming to cover Penn State football. Sorry to keep you waiting. I was waiting for the stats. Still haven't gotten the stats. We did not control the line of scrimmage on either side of the ball. Although the score at the end of the first half, we were in the thing. We did not control the line of scrimmage on either half. On either side of the ball. Offensively, obviously, we weren't able to run the ball or convert on short yardage situations, stay on the field, but defensively, we weren't able to get off the field. 15-play drives, 12-play drives, 16-play drives. They controlled the line of scrimmage and they controlled the game. They're a good football team. Give them credit, but we didn't play well. So, open up the questions.
Rich?
James, Michigan ran for over 400 yards. Was it a matter of being physical enough? And how disappointed are you in that number?
Yeah, I know you guys hate this answer, but I got to watch the tape. But obviously, there's way too many times the guy was just running through holes into the second level. Yeah, obviously not happy with that number at all. Not one bit.
Soccer.
James, why did you go to Drew when you did, and is that a decision you expect to carry over to next week?
Sean got hurt.
Neil?
James, can you go back to the one sequence, what you saw on that pass interference penalty where you guys had converted a third down, and also the decision not to punt at the 39, what you thought?
Yeah. Obviously, it's a huge play in the game, very similar to the Indiana game last week where they scored right before the half, called it a pick play. We were both running pick plays. We should have hit Nick a little bit earlier, but he's got to stay behind the line of scrimmage. It's a screen, essentially what it is. He drifted across the line of scrimmage. It's the right call, but we got to stay behind the line of scrimmage. Literally went over that play in the team meeting. Details matter, and that's what happened on that play. 2 weeks in a row, critical plays that fell in their favor. And then in terms of punting, I mean, you get to a point from a score perspective, you're trying to win the game. You're trying to win the game. Obviously, if you don't convert, you put the defense in a more challenging spot. I get that, but you're trying to win the game. And punting, when the score gets to that point and the clock gets to that point, I don't think is going to give you the best chance to win.
Pickle?
Coach, you had a couple different offensive line combinations today. You started Hunter with Landon, and I know after.
Yeah, Landon got hurt in pregame warm-up.
Okay, so you had Bryce Effner out at right tackle for a few series there in the second half. Just how would you evaluate that group overall today?
Yeah, like I said, we did not do well on either front. That's tight ends, that's O-line, that's D-line, that's linebackers. They outplayed us on both fronts. There's no doubt about it. And that's, when I say that, that's coaching, that's playing, that's all of it. So I feel like I kind of already answered that question.
Corey?
James, you're coming off a bye. You had all the confidence in the world. I mean, the team had been playing well. This kind of comes as a big surprise maybe to a lot of people that follow you. How surprised are you, by the way, this way?
Yeah, they're a good football team. Let me start by saying that. Let me give them credit. They're a good football team. But we didn't play well. So, yeah, I'm surprised that we didn't play well. Again, when you're not able to control the line of scrimmage the way you need to control this line of scrimmage, you're going to have a hard time in games. And they're able to stick with the game plan, stick with what they do. We knew early down success for their offense was critical. We knew starting the game, you look at all the analytics, that was going to be very, very important. And for the most part, we were able to battle our way. Maybe not conventionally, but we were able to battle our way to keep it close in the first half. That opening drive to start the second half was really important. We deferred. That was really important for our offense and for our defense. And we weren't able to do it consistently enough today.
James, this is a league, of course, that's built around the trenches and kind of predicated around that. You'd said this week that you thought this was going to be big boy football. Why do you feel like the trenches, especially, have been kind of a theme, a problem here for a little while?
Yeah, it's all of it. We got we gotta develop, we gotta recruit, we gotta get bigger. We're undersized at some spots. Everybody thinks they're Aaron Donald now, and they're not. Like, everybody sees Aaron Donald playing undersized, and everybody thinks they're that guy. And there's been one of those guys in the last 100 years of football. So we need to be bigger. We need to be more physical. Our footwork, our technique, our fundamentals, it's all of it. It is all of it. We own all of it. But give them credit for what they were able to do today.
Rich?
James, how do you get this team mentally focused for next week, the week after such a defeat? How do you get them mentally ready?
Yeah, we like everybody else in the country does. You get a tough defeat, you learn from it, you make the adjustments, you make the corrections, and you get back to doing what you got to do to be 1-0 next week. This game can't linger. Talking about games in the future doesn't matter. We got to find a way to be 1-0 next week, and we're going to need everybody in that locker room and everybody in Happy Valley and the Penn State community to stick with us and rally around us. We're 5-1, and that's what we are. Very, very clearly, that's what we are. We own it. We're 5-1, but that's what we are.
Two more
The
to go.
losses aren't bigger than what they are, and the wins aren't bigger than what they are.
Two more to go. Brandon and Audrey.
James, along those lines, what's your tone in the locker room after a game like this, where I'm sure you're not happy with what happened, and I'm sure the players aren't happy with what happened?
That's the hardest part of your job, in my opinion. It's not the time to critique. I tell them I love them. We all need to kind of look at ourselves individually. Starts with me as the head coach, and every player and every coach and every staff member needs to look at it the same way. What can I do better? And then obviously we'll get on the film and make the corrections. But when there's a open wound, that's not the time. I learned that years ago as a young coach. That's not the time to go in the locker room and start talking about what we needed to do better, what we should have done better.
Audrey?
James, we saw Bryce Effner for, I want to say, the entirety of the third quarter. I'll have to go back and look. But then Caden came back in the fourth. What went into that decision?
Yeah, we had a rotation plan for the game besides that.